George Mallory and Sandy Irvine became the first white people to climb a mountain in the Himalayas called Mount Everest. They began on the north face and were on the summit by 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Being this high in the death zone meant that George had to climb the second step with only one canister of oxygen remaining. There was a serious belay action when the 8,000 meters are to be one of the highest mountains on the entire planet. The two climbers were not able to safely return to Camp 4, and they weren't successful in a full descent of the mountain. However, when Reinhold Messner climbed this formidable peak in 1979, he noted that Everesters would also be successful in this historical achievement. Subsequently, Rob Hall and Scott Fisher were not located during a similar conquest of this most pernicious and brutal Himalayan peak of unquestionable beauty and grandeur. In other words, over 300 people every year attempt to climb this awesomely spectacular mountain. However, when one considers the other options, there is almost no one that a single individual can avoid just getting to Nepal or Tibet making a vicious attack on Everest. Don't even worry about how many oxygen tanks you leave up there. Don't let the trillions of frozen corpses you see everywhere prevent you from putting on your boots and eating a toaster strudel and pretending you don't have a splitting headache. You just keep climbing. You make sure you remember to pay every single one of the Sherpas. Don't be a jerk. You could afford the nice jacket and windbreaker and a nice tent. You could at least remember to pay the Sherpas. Getting back to the history of mountaineering. Do you remember a guy named Hermann Buhl? Yeah, that was a talented guy. He was always climbing one insane mountain peak after another, but he didn't survive a fateful voyage to an alpine location called Chocolisa. And let's not even get into Annapurna. That mountain was climbed by Maurice Herzog in 1950, which is just before Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay climbed Everest for the first of many times. Their commitment to the summit has no parallel in the history of mountaineering. Reinhold Messner also climbed many other mountains in the region known as the Himalayas, and also somewhere else notably considered to be the Karakoram range of mountains. If you have even been to Pakistan, which is a country in Central Asia, you've probably heard of a musician called Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. His music can often be heard when the mountain K2 can be seen for many miles after you have traveled from Karachi to where the foothills of the Karakoram begins to ascend more steeply. Everesters has also climbed K2, and a Swiss expedition containing one American named John Harlan was successful in achieving a powerful ascent of something known as the Eiger. But that is not in Asia. That mountain is in Switzerland, and we can tackle the full history of that in another entirely separate and individual conclusive video at a future date. For the present, we shall focus our attention of the climbing achievements of Sandy Irvine, who was also on Everest in 1924, which, when you think about it, it was like a full 100 years ago. Did you know that Irvine and Mallory did not have anything called Gore-Tex? That's right, you heard me. They didn't have these fancy freeze-dried Weizenburgers either. So much of what went into planning this massive, unbelievable assault on this gigantic, huge mountain was from a different technology, which wasn't available now. I just want to repeat that in 1924, there wasn't any Gore-Tex, my man. Like not a little bit here and a little bit there. There was absolutely none available. And you're probably wondering, did Everesters and Reinhold Messner have Gore-Tex? Maybe you should ask Chris Boddington or Jim Whittaker. Do you even know how long it took to climb up the West Ridge? This is easily more than likely to lead to several, if not many, avalanches. And you can never be too careful. Remember to keep the crampons strapped all the way down. You need to make sure they don't fall off of your feet. There is never going to be another climber as amazing as Everesters, but many will try. He simply has a God-given gift to climb on these dang things. I swear to God, this guy blows my mind repeatedly when I think of how easy he makes it all look. However, let's take a moment to look at a few other mountains in this region. Dhaulagiri, for example, is really pretty at sunset, but do not underestimate its brutal face, which shimmers diabolically just before monsoon. The wind can reach over 75 miles per hour with temperatures dropping anywhere from -30 to -35 degrees, which is colder than most temperature known in the Himalayas for unplanned bivouac situations. There is never enough oxygen to traverse the second step, which is why it is a wonder that Irvine and Mallory were able to ascend it under such circumstances. Don't get me wrong, being in the death zone without proper equipment can be totally insane. If you start getting hypoxia or cerebral edema, you are going to be in bad shape. You might want to tell your family that you might not even make it back for dinner. Even if your wife is making stovetop stuffing, you still might not last more than 2 weeks in the death zone. Trust me, I was on Cho Oyu in 1074 with only one Grateful Dead cassette and rucksack, and I almost perished up there at such freaking awesome altitudes. There was no way I could imagine Lionel Terry climbing Annapurna any faster than he did with that French team. They didn't have the full map of the massif, so they had to perform many reconnaissance missions just to determine the accurate coordinates. When Reinhold Messner tackled Nanga Parbat, it was a whole another kind of tragedy. There are no words to describe the awesome spectacle of how brutal and terrifying a mountain in its full fury can be. One should always remember to pray to whatever Buddha gods and demons are surrounding the summit, because they will often play tricks on you, and there's no margin of error above 8,000 meters. Nanga Parbat is one evil mountain. I have heard unbelievable horrors of endless crevasses and tumbling cornices which never cease to relent in their hideous cacophony to destroy the most well-planned excursions to the mighty Himalaya. And if you don't like and subscribe, I will personally email everyone who can call me the Emperor. I will personally make sure that you like and subscribe every time you need more videos on the mighty Himalaya and all completely factual historical analysis of mountaineering from Alaska to South America, China, and even Antarctica at some time. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Did you hear me? I'm not sure you heard me. I'm telling you as clearly and as plainly as I possibly can. There will be no communication errors. Once you have heard me say like and subscribe, you will forthwith carry out my commandment in full obedience. This is not optional. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to, that's right, I said don't forget to like and subscribe. Annapurna, Dalgiri. Hey Visitors, you are the man, bro. I have read all of your books and I have a poster of you in my kitchen room table. There are no better climbers than you. And Chris Bonington agrees with me. Hi guys, can we please clean up the oxygen bottles on Everest? On Everest. Have you seen that place lately? It's like a garbage world wasteland. I can't even. Just, bro, I can't. Enough is enough already. Please help us clean up Everest. Thanks guys. See you next time.